Tonight,
She knew straight away I'd broken my neck.
a freak mountain biking accident.
Thinking, well, this is it. I'm 38, I'm going to die here.
For nearly 5 hours, Sean's partner and a complete stranger breathed for him.
I can remember mouthing, breathe for me.
7 years on, we give him the chance to say thanks.
Hi Sean, how are you?
It's a hot afternoon in Litchfield National Park in the Northern Territory. Keen mountain bikers Sean Fitzgerald and his girlfriend Stephanie Maxwell are riding flat out on a dirt track. Without warning, Sean's life is about to drastically change. Whether he lives or dies will come down to the actions of a complete stranger.
On the day of the accident, I come to a stop. And the next thing I remember doing is lofting my front wheel over a little ledge, no higher than a normal street gutter, and going straight ahead into this minefield of rocks.
Sean careers over the handlebars, his head smashing straight into a rock.
And then I tried to move and I couldn't. And it wasn't long after that I realised that I wasn't breathing. I can distinctly remember now thinking, oh, well, this is it. I'm 38 and I'm going to die here.
Coming up.
It was a bizarre situation. We had these complete strangers turn up and, you know, this man who we've never met before is keeping my partner alive.
Seven years ago, Sean Fitzgerald had a mountain biking accident that would nearly cost him his life.
I can distinctly remember now thinking, I'm 38 and I'm going to die here.
Sean's girlfriend Stephanie can't find her riding companion. She soon works out something is wrong. Then she discovers Sean lying motionless.
And I can remember mouthing, no noise coming out of my throat, but mouthing, breathe for me. Breathe for me. As she rolled me over, my head went all floppy, and she knew straight away I'd broken my neck. Steph put her lips to mine and breathed in, and this big rush of air went straight out my nose, and I got just enough air in my lungs to say, nose. Steph would give me a breath, and then she'd give me another one to make sure my lungs were full, and she'd run off up the track trying to yell out, trying to get somebody's interest, to get someone to come and help us. And there was nothing there. There was nobody around. We were by ourselves.
Finally, Steph flags down a four-wheel drive and they speed off to call for help. In the vehicle are Colin Hunt and his wife Margaret, and they return just in time to relieve an exhausted Steph. Normally, this type of respiration can only be done for 45 minutes.
I remember Stephanie standing up and passing out because she'd been breathing for me for about 3.5 hours by that time.
It was a bizarre situation. We had these complete strangers turn up and, you know, this man who we've never met before is keeping my partner alive. That was just fabulous.
By the time an air ambulance arrives, Colin and Steph have breathed for Sean for an incredible 5 hours.
And that was the last time that I saw Steph or Colin or anyone else there for a long time.
Sean's in a critical condition. His doctor is expecting severe brain damage from oxygen starvation. But what he finds is amazing.
What they didn't counter on was Steph and Colin having done such a great job in keeping me alive.
Sean's recovery was equally harrowing. Paralysed from the neck down, it took 2 years for him to breathe again without a ventilator. He and Stephanie have since married and have a daughter.
That's the strangest feeling, I've got to tell you. I haven't felt that for a while.
Fatherhood is something that Sean would never have known had it not been for his wife and a stranger who stopped and saved his life.
I'm very anxious to see him again. He's an inspiration, there's no risk about that.
And little does Sean know Colin is again close by. Steph, when you came behind Sean and found him, tell me what you saw.
When I rolled Sean, I realised that there was no structural connection anymore. It didn't just feel like someone with a relaxed neck. It was way too floppy. It was very horrible.
It's a big ask, isn't it, for a complete stranger to come back to help you. He could have kept going.
He could have got on. He could have said to someone else, you go back, I'll stay. I'm not that sort of character. I knew that straight away.
Coming up. So if you could say something to him, what would it be?
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Legends. It's been 7 years since the freak mountain biking accident that would change the course of Sean Fitzgerald's life forever. For nearly 5 hours, his wife and a complete stranger breathed for him and gave him the ultimate gift. They kept him alive. Thankfully for you, Colin was such an able person.
Just the right person, just the right time.
So if you could say something to him, what would it be?
I owe the deepest, most meaningful gratitude to and
Hi, Sean. How are you? Good to see you.
give us a kiss.
Not a problem.
It's a while since I've done that.
It is a while since you've done that.
Still got that big.
Oh, yes, Steph.
Great to see you.
Tara was just encouraging me to say something.
About
And
what?
I don't think I've ever said it to you two.
What's that?
How grateful, truly grateful I am that you were both there
I knew that.
and that you stepped up to the plate and did the work you did.
All part of the deal, wasn't it?
What can I say? It's got to be the ultimate thing to do for someone else.
And I'm quite proud to do it.
Yeah, I thought you might have been. I thought you might have been.
I know your heart is full of doubt. You don't need to be without.
Silly things. Silly things we do.
Sean gets to say thank you to the stranger who stopped and saved his life. Now he will see his daughter grow up and he'll never forget what Steph did to give him a second chance.
I knew Steph was a strong individual and that if I supported her, she'd be able to keep me alive. But to go for that long and to be so determined about it and to give me such a strong sense of love, I've always struggled with how I'm going to repay that. How I'm going to be there for her in her times of difficulty. Always. And of course, I'll always love her. Always.
I think if we lived through that day, we could live through anything.
One stranger and the person closest to him gave Sean the ultimate gift that day. They helped him breathe.